power to the people, economic and jobs, sustaining the peace, governance, and transparency. These 4 pillars, which were the core embodiment of Mandela's annual message and legislative agenda, are now developed into our national plan called the Pro Agenda for Development and Prosperity, and was officially launched on 29 October 2018. The overall objective of the PAPD and its ultimate goal is to lift our people from poverty to prosperity. As a first step towards achieving this goal, it is our intention and our determination to reduce poverty by 23% by the end of 2023 by providing greater income security for an additional 1 million Liberians who now live below poverty line. Secondly, the PAPD seeks to build more capable state institutions for efficient and effective service delivery. These will require collective efforts towards the pragmatic implementations of programs and projects under the 4 pillars of our Pro agenda. Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the 54th Legislature, the constitutions of the Republic of Liberia mandate the government to provide education for all Liberians. During the period under review, we undertook new measures and mechanisms for transforming and sustaining an educational system that is adequate to ensure that the constitutional obligations of our government is met. The government, through the Ministry of Education, firstly carried out a review process that included evaluations of the existing legal and administrative framework, nationwide visit to all schools throughout the country, and the hosting of the National Stakeholders Summit. As a result of this process, several activities were implemented in the bid to enhance efficiency in the education sector. These activities include completion of the curriculum revision for early grades through high school. The new curriculum places emphasis on skill delivery, early career pathway, and addressing deficiency in literacy and numeracy. Payroll cleaning exercise, which netted saving of $2 million United States dollars as of November 2018. The saving enabled the government to enroll nearly 1,100 out of 3,764 teachers who for nearly 9 years have been paid irregularly and substantially below salaries earned by other civil servants. Increasing the number of scholarships awarded to more than 1,165 students, which include 129 for foreign scholarships, costing the government a total of $2.5 million United States dollars. The government of China and Morocco and several other countries awarded bilateral scholarship to nearly 100 Liberians to pursue studies in those countries. This amounts to a total of 163 students in foreign countries and 1,300 on local scholarships in all universities across Liberia. In 2018, the government also awarded foreign sponsorship to the 7 best performing students on the 2017-2018 WISE examination. Tuition waiver for all public universities and colleges. Under the 2018-2019 Public Sector Investment Project, appropriation, the Ministry of Education was allocated $4 million United States dollars for infrastructure improvement and expansion, including the renovation of 33 public schools and the refurbishment of 15 science laboratories in public secondary schools. In addition, 78,000 pieces of modern chairs were purchased for public schools across the country. WISE intervention programs. The government of Liberia paid a WISE fee for all 33,931 12th graders and 17,679 9th graders, amounting to the sum of $2.3 million United States dollars and $41.5 million Liberian dollars, respectively, as a means of relieving parents and students on the financial burden associated with the exams and improve performance. Additionally, to reduce mass failure among 12th graders in the 2017 and 2018 WISE examination, the Ministry of Education, with support from the national government, launched in November 2018 the WISE Intervention Project aimed to improve Liberian students' performance on the 2018-2019 examination. The project provides Saturday tutorial for all 12th graders in the country, free of charge. The cost of the project is little over $350,000 United States dollars. Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the 54th Legislature, in addition to the interventions made by the government to shift the paradigm for a better education system, we also receive strong support from our international partners to the education's component of the Pro-Poor Agenda for Prosperity and Development, the PAPD. The World Bank idea made a grant loan of $25 million United States dollars for investment in public secondary schools, including construction, rehabilitation, setting up laboratories, provisions of teachers, residences in rural school communities, girls' retention to secondary school. and employment activities honor our youth entrepreneurship and employment project, Youth Opportunities Project, and the National Cadet Program. About 15,000 individuals and households are expected to benefit from these programs collectively. The Youth Opportunities Project has to date benefited 129 communities in all 15 counties. 28 family groups comprising a total of 3,612 youth have received the first Friends of Labor subsidy cash payment of $150 United States per youth to assist with some of their needs while on farms. Under the household enterprise component, 100 business group consisting of 8 members in 10 communities across the country have completed their business plans. These are now being reviewed and accounts are being opened for each business group to receive $2,400 United States dollars for business startup. Under the productive public works component of Youth Opportunities Project, an additional 3,612 youths in 128 communities are being recruited across the country for round 2 implementation. The Youth Opportunity Project is also expected to receive additional financing of 3.5 million euros from the Swedish government and 5 million euros from the French government. The first batch of 110 cadets on the National Cadet Program were deployed to various governmental and private institutions to afford them an opportunity to gain some work experience. In addition, over 5,000 young people have benefited from our sexual, reproductive health, education, and treatment initiatives, recognizing the importance of literacy and empowerment. The Youth Literacy Program has been revamped and launched in several communities. Madam Vice President, because of the importance of sustaining peace in Liberia, the ministry continues to engage youth and their community through the youth empowerment and engagement through social cohesion programs. Under this program, Community Peace Council dedicated to teaching and practicing conflict resolution and prevention were formed in several communities in Bon, Cape Town, Magibi, and Nima counties. The council conducted community peace dialogues that are meant to enhance the skills of youth, religious and traditional leaders in conflict resolution and the avoidance of negative values. The government, with support from the United Nations Development Program, rolled out the Youth Connected Liberia Program. This is a social entrepreneur youth development program that seeks to develop young Liberians into productive citizens. The program supports youth in innovations, ICT, volunteerism, entrepreneurship, advocacy, and leadership. As part of the activities of the rollout, the Ministry of Youth and Sports dedicated a modern multi-purpose innovation lab and digital learning room at the SKD Sports Complex. The facility is equipped with computers, projectors, and internet connectivity, and serve as a resource center that provides a space for online learning, peer mentorship, networking, and training for youth within Moserado County and its environment. For the Vice President, plans are being worked out by the ministry and our partners to replicate seminar facility at our youth and community center across the country. Honorable members of the 54 legislature, capacity development for our young people remains a matter of high priority for the government. Our TVET institution graduated about 3,000 students, with the Moravia Vocational Training Center accounting for 2,709 graduates. This was the first graduate since the Ebola crisis. Also, the government has successfully completed negotiation with the European Union on the terms of a 20 million euro grant, which is meant for the modernization of 7 TVET institutions in the country. The execution of this program has begun with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization as implementing partners. The Ministry of Youth and Sports has completed assessment for the reopening of the other TVET institutions, Timutu Agriculture and Vocational Training Center in Bon County, Clay Agriculture and Vocational Training Center in Bomi County, and Youth Agriculture Training Center in Moserado County. We are currently partnering with the different organizations to improve and enhance TVET delivery across the country. Under this partnership, the Timutu Agriculture Training Center, Youth Agriculture Training Center, and Clay Agriculture Training Center will be beginning major activities within the next couple of months. The RD, a working group on education, management, and policy support, has a 5-year project for the development of oil palm industry in Liberia, with emphasis in nursery development. 30 young Liberians from the western region of the country are to benefit from the 3-month intensive training in nursery development for the pilot phase of the project to be carried out in Clay Agricultural Vocational Training Center in Bomi County. Under Chinese Assistance 2018, the Shandong Foreign Trade Vocational College of China, as part of 8 overseas foreign aid training program, is conducting training focused on electricity, auto repairs, and construction. This intermediate training is expected to benefit 100 youths. The government continues to champion the use of sports as a tool for youth development and the promotion of social cohesion. Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Pro Tempore, members of the 54th Legislature, it is important to mention that the broken economy inherited but our administration, caused by the risk associated with the democratic transition in 2017, collapse of the country's major export commodity prices on the global market, the UME withdrawal, and the effects of the Ebola virus disease in 2014, is still in a struggling state. Despite these peculiar adverse economic circumstances, growth in real growth domestic product recovered at 2.5% in 2017 and was projected to rise to 3% at the end of 2018. By 2023, we expect the economy to grow by a further 4.7% on account of further expansion in commercial growth production, growth in the agriculture and forestry sector, formation of special economic zones, and other economic reforms envisaged under the Pro agenda for prosperity and development. Even with these optimistic recovery forecasts, our projected growth rate are still below the pre-Ebola period, when the economy grew on average by 7.5% annually. Honorable members of the 54th legislature, during the period under review, the Liberian dollar performed poorly against the United States dollars. The average Liberian dollar exchange rate with reference to the United States dollars depreciated from 117 Liberian dollars to 1 United States dollars in 2017 to 157.8 Liberian dollars to 1 United States dollar at the end of 2018. At its lowest value before the government intervention, 1 United States dollar was being exchanged at 180 Liberian dollars. This massive depreciation of the Liberian dollar primarily driven by the deteriorations of the country's terms of trade and an increase in demand for United States dollars to service imports. Other factors were the legacy of the UME drawdown and the Nigerian adverse impact the Ebola crisis. To help stabilize the situation, I delivered an economic speech in which I mandated the economic management team and the Central Bank of Liberia to find solutions to exchange rate and other macroeconomic problems. As a short-term quick fix, the government approved 25 million United States dollars to enable the central bank to intervene in the foreign exchange market. As of December 2018, a total of 17 million United States dollars were used for the intervention, which significantly contributed to the general stability in the exchange rate for the past 6 months, July to December 2018. The balance, 8 million United States dollars, is reserved by the central bank as a precautionary intervention fund. As a sustainable remedy to the exchange rate problem, the central bank is concluding arrangements on the use of various monetary policy instruments, including the introduction of a standing deposit facility, a standing credit facility, and CBN index bills and notes to ensure a more stable macroeconomic environment in 2019. Honorable members of the 54th legislature, Liberia's trade deficit stood at $561.8 million United States dollars for the period of January to November 2018. Although this represents a 17.1% improvement as compared to $677.3 million for the same period in 2017. It is important to note that the weak performance of the real economy has for so long been characterized by low export earnings as compared to payment for imports. Though there has been improvement in the trade balance in 2018, the Liberian dollar still remains under pressure. Performance of two of our key commodities, iron ore and rubber, shows some level of improvements during the period under review. Receipts from iron ore export almost doubled from $57.8 million United States dollars to $106.5 United States dollars, while rubber export grew slightly from $67 million United States dollars to $68.9 million United States dollars compared to the same period in 2017. In order to improve external sector of the economy, there is an urgent need to support domestic production, which requires a major structural transformation of our economy. In this regard, on the proposed agenda, agriculture has been considered a matter of priority to achieve this structural reform. The gross foreign reserve at the end of November 2018 was $410.2 million United States dollars, reflecting a slight decline of 1.7% compared to the end of December 2017. This slight decline in gross foreign reserve can be largely attributed to low export earnings. Despite the challenges faced in the economy, the banking system remained resilient during the year under review. The banking system further experienced improvement in aggregate assets, deposit loans, and capitalizations. However, the stock of non-performing loans remains a major challenge for the banking system. The central bank is taking steps, including establishing a robust credit reference system to address the issues of non-performing loans. At the same time, the government is working to improve the legal and policy environment to improve access to credit and to resolve other challenges in the private sector. Nevertheless, the banking sector continues to play a significant role in providing credits to the economy. Credit to the private sector, which serves as the main engine of growth, rose by over 36.8% at the end of October 2018. In addition, total credit as a percentage of GDP increased from 13.1% 2017 to 13.4% in 2018. Largely as a result of growth in loan to all major sectors, especially the extractive sector, oil and gas sector, and the manufacturing sector. We'd like to assure members of the banking sector that the government of Liberia is committed to certain government debts owed to banks from the previous administration. We'd like to ensure members of the banking sector that the government of Liberia is committed to settling the government debt owed to banks from the previous administration. Regarding the insurance sector, the central bank and the government remain focused on implementing reforms of the sector. The measures taken to bring stability to the sector has led to some improvement in the regulatory landscape and the sector. Liberia has made progress in deepening the financial system through the national payment system and digital financial space. There has been an uptake in the use of mobile money services across the country, as well as the automatic teller machines, the ATMs, which have helped to increase access to payment. The government continues to pay civil servants through this mechanism, and there are efforts on the way to use such digital platform for government revenue collections. These efforts are part of the government's vision to digitize the Liberian economy and transition to a cashless society. Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the 54th Legislature, during the year under review, the news media in Liberia was saturated with stories alleging the containers of Liberian dollar imported by the central bank were missing. Given the gravity of the allegations, our administration took several actions in response, including setting up a special presidential technical committee to investigate. In addition, the government requested the assistance of the European Union, the African Union, the United States government, and the Economic Community of West African States, the ECOWAS, to help in conducting a separate external investigation into the alleged missing money. With the assistance and support of the UC, an audit team from Court of London, England, was invited to independently investigate and report findings. Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the 54th Legislature, the report from the crew audit team is expected at the end of February 2019 and will be released to the public by UC. If it is established that there has been any willful act of criminality, negligence, or malfeasance, by anyone implicated in the report, the full weight of the law will be brought to bear. Honorable members of the 54th Legislature, I am pleased to report that despite the challenges to the economy, our robustness in revenue policy and administration and the support of donor partners resulted into greater revenue receipts in 2018 as compared to 2017. Revenue collection for 2018, including grants, was $480.6 million US, compared to $454 million US in 2017, which represents growth of 5.7%. This strong performance was driven by higher receipt of tax and non-tax revenue. To this end, our government is especially grateful to our partner for contributing approximately 10 times more in budget support grants in 2018 than in 2017. $38 million US in 2018 as compared to $4.8 million in 2017. That revenue increased from $384.9 million US in 2017 to $387.6 million US in 2018. Non-tax revenue increased from $55 million US in 2017 to $64.7 million in 2018, mainly on account of active collections of the road fund levy. Correspondingly, expenditure for 2018 amounted to $502 million US compared to $434.3 million US at the end of November 2017. The increase in government expenditure consistently reminds us about the desire of the Liberian people for meaningful development, which are in line with our Change for Hope mandate. Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the 54th Legislature, when we came to power, we inherited a debt of $878.2 million US at the end of 2017. The debt stock now stands at $987.8 million in 2018 at the end of 2018. The increase in the debt stock of $109.6 million during period under review is mainly on account of disbursement from borrowing external loan portfolios, including the World Bank and African Development Bank, Badia, and Saudi Arabia, which were ratified in 2017. To date, my administration has not added to the debt stock, but that doesn't mean we will not increase the stock of debt. In the interest of our people, we are working on this. Citizens, Liberians, to date, my administration has not added to the debt stock, but that doesn't mean we will not increase the stock of debt. In the interest of our people, we are working on this. Honorable members of the 54th Legislature, our administration remains grateful to our development partners for the level of assistance we have received since my ascendancy as President of the Republic of Liberia. Total official development assistance received from January up to September 2018 is about $399 million United States dollars in support of various programs and activities on the proposed agenda. To our partners, we say thank you, yeah? À vous, partenaires, je vous dis merci beaucoup. Obrigado, meu amigo. Of this amount, approximately $279.2 million United States dollars represent 70% in grants, while the remaining $120 million United States dollars represent 30% received as concessional loans. This reflects the commitment of our partners and the international community to support the dreams and aspirations of Liberian people and their confidence in our fiscal discipline. Madam President, Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the 54th Legislature, it is my singular honor to request this honorable body to join me in expressing our sincere thanks and profound appreciation to our donors partners. Thank you, Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the 54th Legislature. As the world's second largest shipping registry, we have carried out several programs and activities to strengthen, to consolidate, and to expand our maritime program in the face of competition for new and emerging registries. During the period under review, the government of Liberia and the People's Republic of China renewed the favored nation maritime transport agreement for another 5 years, thus preserving our access to a vast market in the Far East. Additionally, discussions are in the final stage to conclude a maritime transport agreement with the Republic of India. Our government will continue to explore further opportunities to ensure that competitive advantage we have as a world-class maritime nation is increased to the benefit of the Liberian people. Madam President, Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the 54th Legislature, in my inaugural address, I stated that my greatest contribution to this nation as President would not lie in the eloquence of my speeches, but would definitely lie in the quality of my decision that I will make over the next 6 years to advance the lives of Liberians. And as I have often said, I am a man of action. It is against this backdrop that I have set my eyes on roads as my administration paved to deliver a better living condition for the Liberian people. Good road connectivity will enhance our economic development, our agricultural productivity, and reduce travel time to schools and hospitals. In fulfillment of the goal of the PAPD to connect every county to our commercial capital of Monrovia, we have targeted 517 kilometers of paved primary roads. At the same time, we are creating communities connectivity through the pavement of community roads throughout the country. The governor of Liberia is working with the ECOWAS Bank, Investment Development, the African Development, the World Bank, and to provide sector to identify scale of financing for the coastal highway. During the period under review, 3 new segments of primary road projects were initiated. The Saniquale Local Toll Road project of 47 kilometers with funding from the African Development Bank and the European Union. The Ganta Tapeta Zwedru Road project of 225 kilometers with funding from the Liberian Reconstruction Trust Fund. Similarly, the German government has contributed 16 million United dollars, and the World Bank has also contributed 29 million United dollars to the Ganta Tabeta Zwedru Road project, and the Banga Salaye Road project of 81 kilometers is expected with funding from the Arab banks. In addition to these gains, the governor of Liberia has secured funding from the Arab banks led by the Kuwaiti Fund for the ongoing Banga to Salaye Road corridor to be extended to Vonjima via Konya in Lofa County. Totaling 195 kilometers. Our concessional Ashalamita has started the Ganta Yekepa Road project of 67 kilometers, and the World Bank has finalized funding for 6 kilometers of paved road from Coca-Cola factory to Iyedere Junction. It is also wanted to mention that with support from the World Bank, the government has successfully completed the National Road Inventory, which includes updated data on the current state of the road network in country. The government is undertaking a total of 150 kilometers of community roads in 57 communities in Monrovia and its environs, as well as in Banga, Bon County, and in Bikana, Grand Bassa County. These roads are being paved with funding from domestic revenue generated from taxes. I am pleased to inform you that more than 65% of community roads are near completion. Though community Clarendon Road and Chuba Road are completed and dedicated. Other gains in the road sector during the period under review include the road maintenance funding grant project phase completion includes 300,000 euros by the German government through GIS. The People's Republic of China for the construction of 2 ultra-modern overpass bridges to be constructed at the SKD Boulevard and Ministerial Complex intersection, respectively, on Tottenham Boulevard. The Japanese government 13.2 kilometers Somalia Drive Road, Phase 1 completion and Phase 2 commencement. The Liberian Streeted 400 kilometer feeder road project. The government of India 144 million commitment to build a conference center named in honor of Mahatma Gandhi to be built on Bali Island. Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the 54th Legislature, as the Liberia Electricity Corporation, the LEC, has been able to increase its supply out, the demand for electricity also increased, insufficiently transforming the overload led to several communities physically demanding service, sometimes resulting in demonstration in some communities. The able technicians of LEC were able to mitigate some of the problems by introducing new transformer where needed and replacing damaged overload transformer. There are more than 8,000 new household connections, 324 new commercial connections, with 80 new large users added and in the process of being added. However, revenue collected accounts for about 40% of generated load, while power theft accounts for 49% and technical losses account for 12%. There has not been a change in tariff, and that may not change until the problem of power theft is addressed through a policy reform. Statistics show that 10% of power theft will cost the Liberian Electricity Corporation $8 million United States dollars. Today, because of the increase in illegal connections, the LEC is losing in excess of $35 million United States dollars per year to electricity theft. This huge loss is preventing LEC from extending supply to many areas of our country where citizens are crying out for electricity. It is also preventing LEC from offering connections to many businesses who in turn could offer much needed employment opportunity to many Liberians. Power theft is illegal. Power theft is illegal and it sabotages the economy of our country. I appeal to you, my fellow Liberians, to stop this behavior of power theft now. Let us work together to put an end to this dangerous crime and help LEC generate more revenue to expand its services to other communities and connect more citizens for the greater good of Liberia. The government has already taken the following measure: provide the Ministry of Justice with additional funding to work in coordination with the judiciary to fast-track power theft cases. We drafted a bill to be forwarded to the legislature that will make power theft an economic crime. Began a rigorous implementation of mass disconnection of illegal connections, and encouraging homes to legitimize their connections. LEC enhanced community outreach as joint stakeholders to protect against illegal connection which result in damaged transformer. Much work has been done, but we acknowledge that there is still more to do. Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the 54th Legislature, we made a solemn commitment to protect and uphold the rights and freedom of our citizens. During the period under review, the government maintained an enabling environment for the exercise of press freedom and freedom of speech. The Liberian media remain vibrant and unfettered. Currently, there are more than 70 privately owned radio and television stations with over 40 newspapers operating in the country. The media is fundamental pillar of our democracy. While we applaud the plurality of the media, we have also engaged the Press Union of Liberia to devise ways of enhancing professionalism. Because we have an obligation to provide factual information about the development agenda of our citizens, we have ramped up the efficiency and capacity of the government's own national media outlets. The National Broadcaster, Liberia Broadcasting Corporation, ERBC, and ERTV has extended its coverage to Weah counties in an effort to further disseminate information to the populace. The government has signed a $10 million United States grant agreement with the government of the People's Republic of China as support to the LBS decentralization program. The state-owned media, including the new Liberian publications and the Liberian News Agency, have become a premier disseminator of news and information from all around the country. We, as a government, will continue to rely on the independent media to complement the efforts of the state-owned media to keep the Liberian people engaged and informed of the activities of the government. Honorable members of the 54th Legislature, Liberia is a beautiful country with a huge tourism potential. Our government will continue to work to improve the tourism potential. Tourism is largely the private sector driven industry, but the government, in keeping with our own responsibility, has undertaken to craft the proper regulatory and administrative framework for the sector to strive within framework of national tourism trade export strategy. We are reviewing the option of seeking legislation to set up an independent national tourism board to regulate the sector and to attract investment in the sector. Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the 54th Legislature, I would like to reiterate to you today what I said at the United Nations General Assembly last year. A nation that has experienced civil war must never take peace for granted or forget the long shadow that years of conflict still cast over our people's lives. we must realize and appreciate that ours is still a fragile peace. As we strive to reconcile our people and consolidate all our resources towards the future of prosperity, we must uphold the rule of law to enable us forge a sustainable peace. Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the 54th Legislature, the peace that we enjoy today was bestowed upon us with the blood and resources of other countries. Its sustainability is not our responsibility. We are constitutionally responsible under the law to protect our hard-won peace. Madam President, members of the 54th Legislature, the Ministry of National Defense continues to ensure professional military training for soldiers and is working with international partners in restructuring a credible defense sector that will maintain the peace and provide an enabling environment for the implementation of a pro-poor agenda for prosperity and development. During the period under review, several local and international training opportunities were provided by our partners, including the United States of America, the People's Republic of China, the government of Bangladesh, the Republic of Ghana, the Republic of Sierra Leone, and the Federal Republic of Nigeria to improve the administrative, tactical, and operational capabilities of the men and the women of the AFL. The armed forces of Liberia continue to play a significant role in the quest for peace and stability in Mali under the auspices of the United Nations peacekeeping operation mission in Mali. In February of 2018, the armed forces of Liberia conducted 2 successive rotations exercises to reach a total of 5 rotations since the beginning of the mission. A total of 100 personnel have been deployed, bringing the present strength of our troops to 105 personnel. During the period under review, the AFL Engineering Command collaborated with the Ministry of Public Works to undertake numerous road construction projects aimed at improving its civil-military relationship by engaging in civil works. In 2017, the Engineer Command completed the reconditioning of more than 300 kilometers of feeder roads in collaboration with the Ministry of Public Works. As part of the post-conflict security sector reform, the Liberian National Defense Act of 2008 includes provision to re-establish the Liberian Coast Guard. With assistance from the United States government, the Liberian Coast Guard was fully reactivated and partially equipped to conduct maritime security and safety operations. Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the 54th Legislature, in an effort to take government closer to the people, the Ministry of Internal Affairs launched the National Policy on Decentralization and Local Governance. The central goal of this new approach is to provide basic social services to our people. The newly enacted Local Government Act of 2018 will now guide the national progress of decentralization of power, whereby authority, functions, and responsibility will shift from central government to local government. Madam President, Mr. Speaker, members of the 54th Legislature, Liberia continues to foster friendly and mutually beneficial ties with our traditional partner, as well as explore new relations with countries sharing similar world view based on friendship, peace, and cooperation in pursuit of our national interests. Liberia continues to pursue a foreign policy objective based on the principles of sovereignty, equality, and non-interference in the internal affairs of other states. The cultivation of friendly ties with member states of the international organization and the settlement of dispute through dialogue and negotiation took center stage in the international arena. During the period under review, I made an official and state visits to several countries in the interest of Liberia and consulted with my colleagues on a number of issues of importance to Africa, notably the resolutions of conflicts on the African continent and elsewhere. Most notable among my travel were the following. In January 28 to 30, 2018, I attended the 30th Ordinary Summit of Head of States of the African Union in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. This was my first official travel as President of Liberia and my first attendance at the African Union. February 14 to 17, 2018, I paid a state visit to the Republic of Senegal. This landmark visit to the President of Senegal reinvigorated the bilateral relations between Liberia and Senegal, my counterparts, President Macky Sall, and I discussed various areas of bilateral cooperations, particularly in the areas of fisheries, medicine, carpentry training, investment promotion, as well as Senegalese experience in the implementation of economic and social development programs. February 16 to 20, I made an official visit to the Republic of France, where the French President committed a grant of 10 million euros to Liberia for road maintenance. I was also given the opportunity, along with President Macron, to serve as a co-founder of Sports for Development. Modalities are being worked out for the more comprehensive and sustainable development assistance to Liberia. June 1st to 7th, 2018, I attended the 12th editions of the European Development Forum on International Cooperation and Development held in Brussels, Belgium. July 29 to August 1st, 2018, I attended the 53rd Summit of the Authoritative Head of States and Government of ECOWAS in Lomé, Togo. August 27 to September 6, I led a high-power delegation to attend the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, the FOCAC Summit in Beijing. China, during this visit, the government of Liberia and China signed a $54 million United States grant to Liberia to aid the construction of 2 overhead bridges to ease traffic movement at the ministerial complex and the SKD Boulevard. I would like to inform this August body that Liberia has signed a memorandum of understanding enabling us to become a member of the One Belt, One Road initiative. All of these indicate the strength of Liberia-China relations. In the spirit, we reconfirm our commitment to upholding the One China policy which governs our relations. September 18 to October 4th, 2018, I attended the 73rd section of the United Nations General Assembly for the first time as President of the Republic of Liberia. I had the opportunity to address the General Assembly and also attended a high-level meeting on the world drug problem that was chaired by His Excellency President Donald Trump of the United States. I also attended a high-level plenary meeting on the global peace in honor of the 100th birth anniversary of Nelson Mandela. November 9 to 15, at the invitation of President of France, I paid an official visit to the Republic of France to attend Paris Peace Forum, which brought together more than 70 world leaders. During the occasion, I had the opportunity to meet other world leaders and talk about mutual benefits in our relations. While in France, I was invited to attend the Internet Governance Forum organized by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, as a guest of honor. In my submission, I highlighted the significance of Internet in bridging communication gaps in the world, as well as called attention to the danger of this misuse of this new technology for both countries and their citizens. Honorable members of the 54th Legislature, it is noteworthy to report that Liberia's relation with the United States is cordial, harmonious, it is noteworthy to report that Liberia's relations with the United States is cordial, harmonious, and mutually fruitful. Both countries enjoy a strong relationship which is characterized by mutual respect. America is traditionally ally of Liberia, and both countries continue to collaborate at the bilateral and multilateral levels, which led to a recent and significant signing of a $120 million United States dollars between UC and our government. Madam Vice President, members of the 54th Legislature, during the reporting period, several officials, former officials of government, and prominent citizens ended their earthly journey for eternal rest. Among those whom official gazette were issued were Honorable Lemuel Reeves Sr., former Commissioner General, Acting Commissioner General, and Deputy Commissioner for Naturalization, respectively, Bureau of Immigration and Naturalization, now in Liberia Immigration Service. May so rest in peace. Honorable Jacob Hilary Mason Sr., former Deputy Minister for Administration, Minister of Agriculture. May his soul rest in peace. Ambassador Famata Rose Osode, former Minister and Deputy Permanent Representative to the United Nations, Minister Consular Consular, Deputy, Permanent Representative, Minister, Plenipotentiary, Charge Affairs. Honorable Jackson, may he also rest in peace. Honorable Jackson Ido, former Minister of Posts and Telecommunication, Transport and Presidential Affairs, may he so rest in peace. Honorable Sunday A. Cooper, former Deputy Governor, Central Bank of Liberia, Senior Vice President of Operations, Eswald Citibank, Treasurer and Chief Financial Officer, respectively. May he so rest in peace. Consider Francis Y.S. M. Garawulu, former Minister and Attorney General, Minister of Justice, Republic of Liberia, Dean and former Senator of Bon County. May his soul rest in peace. Honorable A. Francis Bongba, former Representative, 51st Legislature, Bon County, Procurement Officer, Peace Corps, Land Commission, Ministry of Lands and Mine and Energy, Bon County. May his soul rest in peace. Chief Joseph T.K. Vonley, former Paramount Chief, Chief Elder, Clan Chief, respectively, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Republic of Liberia. May his soul rest in peace. Honorable Alfred Boyman Anderson Jr., former Superintendent, Bon County, former board members, Bombay Community College and Radio Bombay, respectively, educator, humanitarian, permanent citizen. May his soul rest in peace. Reverend Dr. Emmanuel W. Johnson, Superintendent, Monrovia Consolidated School System, President, Cottington College and Divinity School. May his soul rest in peace. Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the 54th Legislature, long before the drafting and completion of the PAPD, our administration started immediate implementation with the recast fiscal year 2017-2018 national budget. With the rebalancing, we were able to generate $9.6 million United States dollars in saving through expenditure cuts, including reduction in the salaries of all top-level government officials. These include cabinet ministers, deputy and assistant minister, heads of autonomous agency, and their deputies and assistants. I am pleased to inform you, honorable members of the 54th Legislature, that today no member of my cabinet makes above $7,200 money as compared to money earning of $15,000 to $20,000 in the past. With your approval, as member of the National Legislature, we use this saving wisely. To fund 13 PROPO projects today. I am pleased to inform you that most of these deliverables consisting of our first PROPO programs and projects have now been successfully completed. Some of the major successful programs and projects include digitizing the University of Liberia registration system, sending medical doctors abroad to specialize feasibility study of 14 military hospitals, upgrade of JFK and provisions of the roads maintenance, and the payment of the resettlement action plan. Additionally, a new presidential lodge is being constructed at RIA to accommodate visiting head of states. In addition, 3 new dedicated jetty lines were installed at the petroleum storage terminal on Bourgeois Island. Another major milestone in the PST rehabilitation and expansion project was achieved with the completion of 3 new storage tanks. These tanks enable the government to store more petroleum products. In the face of rising global prices, the government has been able to reduce the business prices of fuel on the Liberian market. Fuel prices have been reduced as follows. Gas 3.70 reduced to 3.30, and Argo has been reduced from 3.95 cents to 3.70. Likewise, the price of an ordinary passport has been reduced by 10% from 50 to 45. Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the 54 legislature, as we kickstart the infrastructure portion of the PAPD through road construction, we also want to place a new emphasis on agriculture. Our international partner will agree with me that endless national and foreign resources have been and continue to be poured into agriculture. Yet, returns on these investments are almost negligible. This will have to change. Just as I'm doing with the roads, I will directly get involved in the programs and practical implementation of agricultural development. The sector accounts for more than 70% of household earnings. Therefore, our pro agenda for prosperity and development can only be sustainably achieved through agriculture. We will craft new practical and realistic agriculture policy, incentivize the sector by providing access to credit, reducing tariffs on agriculture implements, and provide small machines, modern seeds, and fertilizers. As I said before, I continue to say, Liberia is open for business. Under this administration, the private sector will be prioritized. With the passage of the new special economic zone law, we will create non-stop shop business zone for the private sector. We have for long spoken about adding value to various raw materials to create more jobs, income, and livelihood for our citizens. It is time we take practical actions to make it happen. As part of our strategy to begin value addition, especially for the light manufacturing and processing, survey of the Buchanan Port has already begun on land that is allocated for the establishment of a special economic zone. And in this fiscal year, we work with our international partner to complete the feasibility studies. While we try to roll out these new businesses opportunities, we will get directly involved in improving the business climate in Liberia. I would like to take this time to thank all the foreign businesses operating in the country In spite of various constraints, they continue to positively contribute to the economy in terms of revenue generations and creating jobs. As part of this exercise, government will continue to address constraints and challenges faced by our business community and the private sector. In so doing, we intend to explore the possibility of the following. We will shortly place before you the legislature a proposal amendment to extend the time required to renew resident permits. In Liberia, we have business people who have lived here for 30 to 50 years will have to renew resident permit every year. This will have to change. People who have already resided in Liberia for 5 years or more without a criminal record will be eligible. The amendment will also propose that resident permit holders will no longer be required to obtain permits to re-enter the country. We will also look into revising the requirement for annual renewal of work permits for a longer period. Additionally, we will implement a visa upon arrival programs as well as the issuance of tourist visa. Madam Vice President, members of the National Legislature, members of the Cabinet, members of the Judiciary, members of the clergy, our international partner, here present members of the business community, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Pro Tempore, the civil society, our traditional leaders, members of the folk estate, officials and other members of government here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Liberians. As I conclude this report to you on the current state of the nation, I want to again give thanks and praise to the Almighty God for the many blessings and protection He has accorded us during our first year of service to our people and nation. Let me use the occasion to commend all of our cabinet ministers and their deputies, head of autonomous agency and their deputies, the technicians at the various ministries and autonomous agency, our security forces, honorable members of the National Legislature, the judiciary, and our traditional leaders for your tireless efforts and support in bringing us thus far. I applaud your good work. I am deeply grateful for all of your sacrifices and immense contribution to our nation. As we embark upon this new journey of the second year of our tenure, I am looking forward to your total commitment, unflinching support, unwavering efforts as we work collectively in transforming the lives of our people for the better. It would be remiss of me if I did not recognize and commend our international and development partners for their immense support and contributions to our government during our first year of leadership. We applaud them for for standing with us. We applaud them for standing with us, and we look forward to a renewed and a strengthening partnership in moving our country to higher heights. Fellow citizens, it is a little over a year since we took on the mantle of leadership to transform the lives for the better. It was a journey of profound opportunities and endless possibilities. At the same time, it was a Herculean task filled with challenges. But I am grateful that we were able to sail safely through difficult times in our first year of service to our people. Certainly, Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, this could not have been possible without the help and guidance of the Almighty, but also due to the patience, sacrifices, collaboration, and cooperation of the Liberian people. When we accepted the challenge to serve our people about a year ago, not only was it the dawn of a new era for our nation, but an opportunity to right the wrongs, to address the plight of our people, to heal their wounds, and to confront every challenge and obstacle that stood in the way of transforming the lives of the Liberian people for the better. Today, I can state with understandable pride that we did not disappoint our people, neither did we fail them. With the support from our two other branches of government and our international partner during the course of this first year in office, I can confidently state that Liberia is far better today under our leadership than it was 12 months ago when we were entrusted with the mandate to serve our people. This is also because of the diligence and tenacity that we brought to the process. We were resolved for change. We remain committed to that cause during our first year of service to our people. And so today, Madam Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the 54th Legislature, and so today, I stand before you with confidence and declare that the state of our nation is strong, peaceful, united, stable, promising, with great prospect for a better future for all. Fellow citizens, despite all these achievements during our first year, we are not oblivious of the many challenges that lies ahead. Neither are we concluding that we have reached our peak in addressing the issues that confront our livelihood. But I can assure you that we are more energetic, motivated than we have ever been. We are committed to changing the lives and to leading this country to a prosperous future of countless opportunity. And that is why we have started our second year with a new mindset, a patriotic mindset, geared towards total development, economic growth, and empowerment. We will not rest until we reach our zenith. We will not rest until we pave the last road leading to the remotest part of Liberia. Let me reiterate. We will not rest until we reach our zenith. We will not rest until we pave the last road leading to the remotest part of our country. We will not rest until prices of basic commodities are made affordable and the equitable distribution of our national wealth is achieved. We will not rest until we see improvement in every sector of our society. Fellow Liberians, thank you for standing with us. Thank you for your prayers and support. In closing, permit me to quote the immortal words of our beloved national anthem. In union strong, success assured. We cannot fail. With God above, our rest approved, we will overall prevail. With hearts and hands, our country cause defending, we will be the foe with valor unpretending. Long live Liberia, happy land, a home of glory and liberty by God's command. A home of glory and liberty by God's command. May God bless the works of our hands and save the state. I thank you.
Address here. This is Liberia National Television. We're coming to you from the capital, where His Excellency George Manuel Weah has delivered his second State of the Nation address. And you were agreeing indeed that he spoke about. Okay, LNTV, we stay here. Thank you. All right, like I said, so jubilation is all in the hall here. Liberia National Television will come into you live. Just heard a very powerful message delivered by His Excellency, like the George Manuel Weah, touching on the economy, the state of the economy, touch touching on the infrastructure development, the enhancement of education, and so we were
since he took over the matter of leadership of the Republic of Liberia.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
That's Assistant Minister for Press and Public Affairs at the Ministry of National Defense, giving his take, his analysis about the President's address to the country. We hope to get
both houses, along with the Sergeant at Arms, escort His Excellency President of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. George Weah, to the rotunda. And you all can wait in your seats. This session is not yet adjourned.
It's not because he's handsome, it's because he will deliver to this nation. It's because Liberia will succeed. That's why I stood as a general of the party to support. Today we have over 200 and plus over here with about 3,000 membership that are jubilating, storming the entire plane with joy and celebration.
Please have your seats.
We are celebrating because what
the activities and programs and projects that have been carried out. He spoke about road connectivity, he spoke about youth schools, he spoke about national security, peace, development, and then,
ladies and gentlemen,
made a lot of proposals in keeping with the
55th legislature.
He should propose his new legislative agenda, including taking actions that will enable ease of doing business in Liberia, access to capital for Liberian businesses and foreign businesses, and then he also pointed out several bills that are in the interest or for the promotion of the PAPD. So it was a very great speech. He ended on a very high note, and we are all motivated to go now and implement all of the things that he proposed for the new year.
Mr. Minister, former Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf spoke of the introduction of a bill that will give other people citizenship, that is dual citizenship, and the former president received some political lashes about this. It's been talked about today by this president. Do you think Liberia is going to embrace them?
But it's not actually his first time. Actually, there is a bill pending in this national legislature where this proposal has been not just a verbal proposal but an active bill that is being considered in committee room. So the president is just restating and urging the legislature to now come and pass this bill because it is in the interest of the economic development of our country. Look throughout the world, other countries, other citizens. Right now, currently, remittances from Liberians out of the country constitute a huge portion. They also contribute to the economy in a lot of ways. We should embrace them and not exclude them from our national development processes. So this bill will be a great step. Also, there has to be a way of ensuring that Liberians who were born as Liberians should not lose their citizenship merely because they traveled to other countries and were constrained to assume other citizenship. So this bill will continue to be debated. I think it's a good move by the president, and we think the Liberian people, with the comprehension and the explanation that has been provided, will now rally around the president and support this bill.
Mr. Minister, thank you so much.
Well, thanks for the opportunity.
Congratulations again.
Thanks.
Representative District Number 6, Colorado County.
Motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker and Presiding Officer, Madam Vice President and President of the Liberian Senate, distinguished colleagues of the 54th Legislature. Having fulfilled the singular purpose for which this joint section was conveyed, that is, to listen to His Excellency Dr. George Bagube for the Congress Tapemane, Weah's annual
order denied.
Annual state, thank you, Mr. Speaker, annual State of the Nation address in fulfillment of the Constitution 54th Article, R.D. Rawisibo from District Number 16, Nikutown, do hereby second the motion for adjournment.
Without restating the motion, are you ready to vote? All those in favor, make it known by saying yes. Against? This joint section of the 54th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia is hereby adjourned. It is hereby so ordered.
We got to, the next time we're ready, I'll sit down and coordinate this thing. Yeah. Seriously, the way the man did it, not
the ability to lobby and get some of the laws passed, I think the president will sail on. Thank you so much, sir. My appreciation, thank you for the live coverage, thank you for the service you're providing for the Liberian people, and we always stand ready to do what we can do and to ensure that peace and tranquility holds for the country, and Liberia goes on.
Thank you so much, as Director of Press Isaac Ray, and let's see if we can make some little adjustments and speak to Grand Bassa County Superintendent John J. Robert. I see you already celebrating Honorable, welcome. You live on LNTV.
Thank you so much.
You're already excited. What are you celebrating, sir?
I'm not just excited, I'm excited with the way, the vigor the president brings to the table. This is a president that means well for this country. What I can say to all Liberians, to my citizens in Grand Bassa County, we need to unite ourselves behind this president to make sure the right thing for our people. What intrigued me is that the president reminded Liberians that being alleged that 16 billion got missing. Today the president reiterated to the Liberian people that look, the investigation is ongoing and will be concluded in February.
We ask everyone to please join.
We're going to talk about the roads, and today Bassa is benefiting from even the building of feeder roads. What we can say is this president will be successful, and we must give him the chance. We need to work along with him to make sure that this president build and develop the lands of our people.
What have you observed has been a challenge for this government that the president can work on?
The president have just integrated his challenges. The president is my boss. I cannot discuss his challenges, but what I can say to you, there are challenges everywhere. You talk about the fiscal challenge that we're faced with, financial things that the country faced with. So because of that, today, I think the president will have made some gains based on those challenges our country faced with, and we are going to make significant gains. Look at what happened in Sano, rapid development taking all over in the country. So what we can say to you is this country will move forward, and we urge all Liberians to remain patient, remain focused, and that way with the president to make sure that the right thing happens for our people.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sado County.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much, Bassa. Superintendent of Grand Bassa County, Janji Bapet, giving his own perspective as well about the president address to the nation on today. Already behind me, there's a crowd of jubilation going on. People singing political songs. Let's see if we can move a little bit closer and get some of the side attractions. It's getting very entertaining. Very entertaining.
I'm very much happy, Pastor Ryan Bono.
Why are you happy?
Look, the president made my day. Look, yeah, listen to the man. Listen to him. Look, my vote was not. Look, I'm happy. I don't know what to say.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's speak with Assistant Minister Emmanuel Sway. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Why are you celebrating?
I'm celebrating because the president has made my day. I've never seen a president so honest and sincere like Dr. George Weah. If you listen to his statement and you follow it from start to end, considering the current happenings, which anybody can see, you will come to the realization that he's honest in his expose. And this is the type of president that we need. A sincere president and an honest president is one who can be trusted. And I'm convinced that my people will judge me right when I go back home, because we advocated for the election of Ambassador George Weah. And so to the extent that he's leading this country in an honest manner and a sincere manner, there's reason for us to be happy. And that is why I'm rejoicing today.
Thank you so much, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, and let's see if we can speak to the EPA boss, Nathaniel Blamer. So welcome you live on LNTV. What's your take? Briefly, what's your take about the president message? Just a minute, sir. You're live on LNTV. What's your take about the president message?
Well, I think the president clearly outlaid the achievement of this administration, especially in terms of developmental projects, and reiterated his commitment to ensuring that he will work to lift the Liberian people out of poverty and improve the quality of living for the ordinary Liberian people. What this government inherited as outlaid by the president, it was a miracle to be able to stabilize the economy and get the country to where it is. Many people have predicted, pundits have predicted that by now there will be insurrection, there will be instability, but the fact that the administration was able to stabilize the economy and being able to extend by providing services, opening new roads, paving new roads, it shows the government commitment. If the government is given the opportunity, the government will do more in delivering to the Liberian people.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Let's see if we can speak to Honorable. Welcome you live on LNTV.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Give us your own take about the president address today. You listen to that keenly as an honorable.
Well, there are national issues. I think that the president was able to touch some of those issues, more especially the growing tension about the $16 billion. He spoke about it, and he gave the government a strong will commitment that individuals who are going to be named in that report will be dealt with. So I think that's what somebody said. He talked about a broken economy. The economy is on the right trajectory. I mean, it was inclusive.
did, and it was very strong.
What do you make of what he spoke of concerning education also?
Well, I think it was very important. If I am one of the persons who sent a bill that we're going to be looking at about school-going kids should not be put out of classes on the basis of tuition. And the president just reiterated that in a very strong commitment, so that was good.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Francis there. But you have to do some exclusive interviews out there. If you know already, but we can do our exclusive interviews about all of the people in here. All the things when they're directly, we can record from this. I got camera.